Most mantis shrimps are pretty
Oh, Kaiju, come on, man. Can I clean your tank?
aggressive, to say the least. And my peacock mantis shrimp Kaiju is no different. He's angry, murderous, but handsome. So finding him a friend will be no easy task. In fact, I'm not even sure he can have any friends. The only faith I have is his one and only friend Dom, who also happens to be on the aggressive side. He's been living with Dom for around a year now with seemingly no issues.
Although sometimes Dom does like to push Kaiju's buttons and steal his krill.
And even though he may not get along well with others, adding new animals into the tank will make him feel less alone and much more at home like in his natural habitat. But looking for a bestie for Kaiju will be difficult, maybe even impossible. The best way to obtain the information I need would be to go directly to the source. So I got my floaties on and... yeah, I don't have the money for that type of trip, so I'm gonna have to start here. So here's the plan. Since a trip to Indonesia is out of the question, I'm gonna scour the internet looking for potential besties for my Mantis Shrimp Kaiju and one that can also be compatible with Dom. The best way to do this is to understand their diets, behaviors, and know what is and is not food or a threat to both of them. Then, based on what I find, we're gonna drop them in and see how they all get along. And then they'll all live happily ever after. Probably. Here's what I found. There are 4 animals I considered potential candidates. Dom in his natural habitat will eat small crustaceans and microscopic planktonic creatures such as copepods. But in here, his main diet is mantis shrimp. There we go. Bro, he's so fast. I swear the way he moves, I don't think he's real sometimes. Are you real, man? This information is extremely helpful because this already rules out a few things. Any small crustacean is a no-go inside this tank because that is also Kaiju's main diet. And as you can see, we've tried something like this before. I have some high hopes for the hermit crab because I'm thinking maybe he's small enough to where like he doesn't really see... Alright, well, there goes that. Well, maybe he's just like playing with him? No, yeah, that's food. It's okay though, because feeding a mantis shrimp some live food every once in a while is healthy for their big brains. Now something also on the menu, mostly for Kaiju, can technically be small fish.
I'm in danger!
But they don't like to waste too much energy going for them since they prefer to walk around on the floor as opposed to swim up and chase them. So we could add another fish like Dom since Kaiju hasn't been interested in eating him, but there's an issue with that. Dom is extremely territorial and would not appreciate a new roommate taking up his swimming space. So another fish is also a no-go. How about another mantis shrimp? Well, if you think 2 murderous shrimp in the same tank sounds like a bad idea, you'd be right. Kaiju is a male mantis shrimp. You can tell because right in front of his gills are 2 little sticks which are his male appendages. Sorry you had to see that. And another male mantis shrimp would be out of the question. However, technically a female mantis shrimp could possibly be doable. If they're compatible, they can pair and make adorable mantis shrimp babies. But based on some things I saw online, it's a 50-50 shot if they will pair. And personally, that's not a risk I'm willing to take. I gotta admit, at this point, things were not looking up until I clicked one more button. A starfish. A starfish is not on the menu for either one of these bad boys that I own. But there are things we need to consider. What does the starfish eat? And can it survive a few love taps from Kaiju every once in a while? To find the answer to my question, I had to get my floaties back on, and yeah, we're still at the computer, sorry. There are nearly 2,000 species of starfish, but I narrowed it down to 2 main contestants. The serpent star, a lengthy boy who likes to eat meat, mostly active at night, but will stretch out his arms during feeding time. I don't know if he could take many hits from Kaiju, but they like to hide under rocks, so I think he'll stay out of his way. Also quite convenient because I own one already in the tank right next door. Then the chocolate chip starfish, a bulky boy who can definitely take a couple hits from Kaiju if need be, and who also like to eat meat. And after a lot of deciding, I figured out who would be best for Kaiju, and we're gonna go with the serpent starfish. And since I already own one in this tank, it's gonna be so convenient to move him over, right? Wrong. There's a big issue I need to figure out here, and retrieving him will be no easy task. He lives inside a tank filled with 3 tiny predators that are no more than 2 inches long, which is above average size in most countries. And these guys hold a lethal secret. They are all in the scorpionfish family, which means they are related to lionfish and stonefish. They have venomous barbs all over their fins that are ready to pierce at any given moment. Meet Shrek, Fiona, and Doug. Shrek and Fiona are my red waspfish, and Doug is my yellow-spotted scorpionfish. They're usually pretty chill, but they camouflage into the tank so well that if I'm not careful and know exactly where they are at all times, I could accidentally corner one to the point where they feel like they have to defend themselves. And that may not end pretty. If I'm allergic to them, it could be fatal if I don't find medical attention immediately.
Oh my, how did I miss a whole beanbag?
To put this in perspective, I would much rather get punched by kaiju than stabbed by one of these guys. So here's my plan. I'm going to distract them with food and absolutely full send it. What could go wrong? They're all on the right side of my tank at the moment, so I think now's a good time to go for it. All right, everyone, stay where you are. Whoa, look at him. Oh, I feel like I haven't seen him in so long. Wow, look at that, guys. He is so cool. Now that I retrieved the starfish and made it out alive, I need to acclimate him to Kaiju's tank. This step is extremely important. We gotta get him used to the new water before he goes in, or else he could die. While he's acclimating to the new water, I'm gonna distract Kaiju with his favorite snack. The sound of me crying in a corner after he punches me. I'm sorry, I mean frozen krill. And while he's eating that, I need our new starfish friend to go right into this small cave in the middle since Kaiju is too big to go in there. I don't want to force him, but I want him to go right under that rock real quickly to avoid Kaiju. Kaiju moved over here and is curious. But look, there he goes. I think that spot's gonna be perfect for him. Because Kaiju usually stays here or over here. Kaiju, we did it, buddy. I'm so proud of you. You only punched me one time this video. Fist bump. Like and subscribe. Okay, bye.